Could someone wash his armor, please?
Estinian!
Wait, he has a face? I thought he was just a helmet.
Cease your mewling, boy. It grates my ears.
I think this is the first time you actually see his face in the entire game.
Forgive me. When I saw you awaken, I could not... It was such a relief. We feared you might never wake up.
Now, Estinian. If Master Alphinaud thought any less of you, you would still be Nidhogg's plaything. Or dead. Aye, 'twas but a jest. I thank you, Alphinaud. And you too, Warrior of Light. Quite how you managed to persuade Hraesvogr to aid in his brood brother's downfall I cannot imagine. But full glad am I that you did. Yet again.
I thought you were done talking.
I, for my part, owe you an apology. When last we met, I did willingly loose an arrow at your heart. Can you forgive me? There is naught to forgive, Emmerich. You but acted in defense of Ishgard as is your duty.
Yeah, pretty much.
Were you any less single-minded about it, I would not follow you into battle, nor trust you at my back. Besides, I had come to the selfsame conclusion, that I would have to perish for Nidhogg to be stopped. So let us dispense with the hand-wringing. I have heard enough mewling for one day.
You'd like that word.
Oh!
The tendrils of Nidhogg's foul presence bound up every fiber of my being, usurping my senses, but I yet retained some trace of awareness. The worm's mind was as a vast and tumultuous sea. Endlessly its black waters churned, his grief and despair at Ratatoska's murder never calming, never receding. Driven by this surging current came wave upon wave of unrelenting rancor. It was the very image of my own heart. There I saw the dark reflection of the hatred I felt after Nidhogg slew my family, when no path remained save vengeance against dragonkind. Neither one of us had a choice. But I was blessed with something Nidhogg was not. Comrades and teachers to console and admonish me. Had I not had them to gainsay my obsession, it would surely have consumed me as Nidhogg's did him, and we would have been in all respects alike.
But you weren't.
Though his shade is banished, his spirit scattered upon the sea of clouds, I feel no joy at his passing. Where once I craved vengeance, I now crave rest. Commander. My hunt is at an end. I would lay down the mantle of Azure Dragoon.
I mean, you're kind of the Crimson Dragoon now.
My friend.
He has tired himself with too many words. I doubt not that he will make a full recovery, but he must be allowed some few days of quiet.
Let him rest, guys. Stop standing over him. Poking him. You alive? You alive? You alive? You alive? You alive?
I too must see my path to its end. Sleep well, my friend.
Following the battle with Nidhogg on the Steps of Faith, Sir Emeric called an assembly that he might make his final proclamation as acting head of state. 'Twas there, with one decree, that the 1,000-year rule of the archbishops was ended, paving the way for a new republic. The governance of Ishgard would now be placed in the hands of high and lowborn alike, their ranks represented by the newly founded House of Lords and House of Commons.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
Church was separated from state. The foundation for change had been carefully laid, and the reforms proposed by Ishgard's new government passed into law without incident. His duty done, Emeric de Burrell gladly stepped down from the Archbishop's dais, only to be raised unto the highest seat in the House of Lords.
I, give up power. No, you don't.
Though
Don't
he
you even think
strove
about
at
it.
first to refuse this honor, the unexpectedly strident voice of the Count de Durandare left him little choice but to accept. And so it was that the winds of gentle revolution came to stir. Prominent among the many honored guests at Sir Emeric's investiture were the ambassadors of Dragonkind, a fitting symbol of Ishgard's newfound peace. The people looked on in awe as he soared through the heavens on Dragonback. And by their cheers did they hail him an Azure Dragoon for a new age.
Seriously, could you clean your weapon? It is just covered in dragon's blood.
Thus were the notes of the dragon song rewritten. The din of war giving way to a rising litany of peace and hope.
From the Memoirs of Count Edmond de Fortemps, Heavensward. Still a little bit more, I think. Just gazing out at the sea of clouds in an all too rare moment of idleness, when I chanced to behold a certain hero wending his way towards the city on Dragonback. Welcome home, Archon. Nay, 'twas no grave matter that moved me to greet you in person. Between you and me, I merely sought respite from the pressures of office. No sooner do I surrender my role as temporary head of state, than I am burdened with a position of more permanent responsibility. I fancy that it echoes in some small measure the way you must feel when your improbable feats of heroism are rewarded with still more impossible challenges. The myths which guided our society for generation lies in tatters. Am I then to be scorned for building upon the system of nobility that I once sought to tear down? What strange jest is this that places me at its pinnacle, an archbishop's bastard at the head of the House of Lords? But these are questions for me to answer. It is not in man's nature to change overnight. This I learned through painful experience, and it was this hard lesson which convinced me to take the path which we now follow. Even as we rebuild the bridge between man and dragon, so must we reimagine Ishgard, one carefully placed stone at a time. We must remember that it is not for us that we lay this groundwork, but for the men and women that our children will become. May their towers rise proudly from the fundament of our legacy. I hear word from Captain Whitecape that Estinian has vanished from his sick room. His woefulness survives undiminished. Should you ever happen upon our unmannerly friend on your travels, pray assure him that I shall keep Ishgard safe until he deigns to come home. Thank you, Archon. And please, convey my warmest regards to Master Alfino. Photon. Welcome, Master Shade. Shall I show you inside? Yep. You spoke with Sir Emmerich? I do not envy him his new position. Ishgard has chosen a new road, but one littered with the detritus of 1,000 years of broken faith. Though our people may stumble from time to time, I know of none better than Sir Emmerich to lead the march of progress. As for us, there remains the small matter of ushering in a new dawn in the shadow of inscrutable ashen machinations and a seemingly endless procession of primals. But we, too, must walk our chosen path, no matter how treacherous the footing. In the wake of Ishgard's governmental reform, new airship routes have been sanctioned. You may now travel to a selection of distant locales from the landing in Ishgard. Ah. It's gonna grab me into here. Hello again. I wonder what they could possibly be up to. This is why you don't just throw them off the bridge. There is flying, people. Thank you, Blanhurst. Nay, you need not remain there. We shall rendezvous at the usual place. All is proceeding as expected, then? Aye. It's not to concern us, aside from one overly courteous mouse. Murder! Oh, hi, Thancred. This way. Him again. Why are we saying murder? It is of no moment. They will play their part, and we will play ours. And thus did grey mists give way to azure skies. Man and dragon rise above, voiced joined in song. But beneath shrouded bows, beyond the scope of light, shadow stirs. We're just going to grab this real quick, which will be the start of patch 3.4. Master Shade, you are come at a most excellent time. An invitation from a truly preeminent personage was delivered to the manor but a short while ago. Would that you had been present to receive it, but in any event. Sir Emmerich de Boreal Lord Speaker of the House of Lords, Lord Commander of the Temple Knights, and Viscount of House Burrell cordially invites Master Shade to dine with him at his estate. You're thinking too small, Mel. Think bigger. You seem surprised. The messenger assured me that his lord had broached the subject with you at an earlier date, when the arrangements of the priest conference were still being finalized. Of course, the intermeeting moons afforded little opportunity for leisure, but with the happy advent of peace, it is plain the Lord Commander sees no further cause to delay. What say you? I should be glad to accept. Indeed, who would not? You'll forgive me if I seem envious. I shall send word of your acceptance to Boral Manor at once. When you are ready, pray report to the Astrologicum. They will have someone escort you the rest of the way.